Well, we reached a big milestone for this channel, 50 subscribers. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. I want to thank everyone who has watched my videos. And I even want to thank the people who haven't subscribed. Because without all of y'all, this channel wouldn't be growing at the speed that it's growing. So today, I'm going to do a little video that pretty much I just talk about myself. And give you guys a glimpse of who I really am. Enjoy. Welcome back, folks. Nash Taters here. So today, celebration of 50 subscribers. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about myself. The first thing I want to talk about is how the name came about, Nash Taters. Well, about 18 years ago, I was going through some problems in my life, and I spoke to a counselor at that time. He recommended I get a pet because at that time I was single and I was going to school by myself. My parents had already moved away, and I was kind of sort of being a social hermit, so to speak. So I decided I wanted to get a dog because, you know, at that time the counselor said that it was a good idea. So I got a dog. First dog I ever owned, so I didn't know a whole lot about dogs, but me and him got along pretty well, and we had our ups and downs. And at the time, I really thought I really need to name my dog something that represented both myself and him. And the first thing I thought about was the food I enjoyed the most and stuff that was going on in my life on the side. So I love mashed potatoes, and I live in the South, in Florida, and we have this saying, a lot of people say mashed taters. You know, we call potatoes taters. And he was going to be my first tater in my life. So I decided that I want to name him Mashed Taters, but it didn't sound quite right. And at the time, wrestling was really big, especially WCW, because, you know, at the time, WCW was going to war against WWF. I guess that's what it was called at the time, WWF. They later changed to WWE for those of you who are wrestling fans. I'm a pretty big wrestling fan, actually. Let's see. My favorite wrestler at the time was Kevin Nash. Big Diesel, big sexy. He later became part of NWO, which is a big part of wrestling that really kind of, I felt was a big thing for me anyways. So I decided, why don't I just have a play on the words mashed, right? So I decided to name him Nash. Another thing that was going on at that time was NBA is another big part of my life. And Steve Nash, the best point guard at the time, his last name was Nash as well. So I figured, why don't I just combine the names and combine one of my favorite food, mashed potatoes. So I decided to name him Nash Taters. And it just stuck with me. And a lot of stuff I do in my life, I use that word because he was a big part of my life. He really helped me get out of that hole mentally that I was in. And so to make his legacy move forward and stay forever, obviously, I wanted to dedicate this channel to him. And also just kind of like use that as the representation of all my dogs that I have now too as well, right? Because he was kind of the first, and so I felt like he was the alpha dog in I guess what I call him now, the wolf pack, which is another play on the NWO theme. Wrestling is a big part of my life for a long time back in the days. My friends and I, we used to really enjoy that stuff. So some other stuff that I enjoy, I think some of y'all have already perhaps learned along the way. I'm a huge Lego fan. You know, I tried to let people know that, you know, there's no plural form of Legos, there's just Lego, right? And a big collection too. I think I'm going to start posting some of those pictures on my Instagram account, and I think I'm going to also list my Instagram in my video descriptions in the future, so you guys, if you want to follow me. I think never really been a huge social media person, but Instagram is pretty cool. I feel like it can have a short little glimpse of what you do and stuff that represents you in life, you know. I also collect Transformers and G.I. Joes. I collect vintage Transformers, vintage G.I. Joes, And obviously you guys know I'm a big gamer. I've been playing video games since I was pretty much a kid. When I was a little child in the United States, my dad bought me and my brother a Nintendo Entertainment System, and played a lot of games with that machine. It was like you know, a dream machine for us. And of course later I got a Game Boy and I couldn't put that thing down. And now, you know, fast forward 2020, there's a whole lot of changes both in life, my life, the world, gaming worlds. You know, we have all these gacha games. I also like to travel a lot. You know, I try to go to different parts of Asia once a year, or at least twice, maybe twice a year sometimes. I visited Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, and hopefully we get to keep traveling, because this whole thing in the world is pretty crazy. And I think now it's even getting worse. I think the cases are getting worse because, you know, with the whole social stuff that's going on, political stuff going on, that's making people go out even more, and just, I guess they're infecting each other. But for me, I'm staying at home most of the time. I work at a hospital. I'm actually a pediatric nurse, and given this situation, you know, there's less children because, you know, there's no more school and whatnot, so there's less opportunities to work. Most of the time, you know, I just stay home because I get put on call a lot. And quite honestly, I think I'm okay with some of that too, because, you know, you don't want to be out there if you have the chance not to be out there, right? Because the children are not really getting affected by the situation as much. It's mostly the adults, especially the ones who have prior history and over a certain age. So, so far so good for me during this pandemic. Just been staying home. I don't think I'm really doing YouTube to try to make money per se. But if it does come, you know, I'm not gonna complain about it, right? I just feel like I enjoy this work. I always thought myself when I was a child I would be doing something entertainment business. You know, I love to entertain folks, and my friends out there who've been supporting me through this whole process know that I love to entertain. You know, I like to make stupid jokes and say stupid stuff, you know. And overall, I just enjoy life, and for me, this is something I enjoy doing. It's a little bit more than a hobby because it's given me an opportunity to kind of express myself. But at the same time, at this time, is more or less taking time slots of, unfortunately, being a hobby. Maybe if I find out I'm not going to be working for a while, maybe it'll turn into a job, especially if I start monetizing. So yeah, I just, like I said, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy putting out content. I think future of this channel, I really want to perhaps produce more videos on other games as well. I think from me watching YouTube for such a long time, I've been doing this for a long time, watching YouTube videos. I get a lot of my sources from people who I feel like are good YouTubers who produce a lot of content that I could use in the games I've been playing along the way. I always notice that, you know, eventually all these games will die out. I personally hope this game that I'm playing, that we all seem to enjoy a lot, War of the Visions, I hope it stays for a long time, at least for a year or two, maybe more. You know, there's so much content that they can bring. You know, included that in the longevity video, and I also included that in the future collaborations. If you haven't seen those, check them out. You know, there's so many possibilities this game can actually do, and I think that's a beautiful thing, because I love this type of game. Strategy RPGs are one of my favorites. But I also feel like eventually there are going to be new games that come out, and that can perhaps get me into the market of attracting more folks, right? And at the end of the day, it's kind of what you want to do as an entertainer. You want to bring in more people. And I don't think I'm going to not do it, because I think a lot of the games that came out recently really put a few YouTubers really on the map, so to speak. And another thing I really plan on doing is I also want to do other things with YouTube, which I won't review at this time, because maybe 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, I'll start reviewing more about myself and what I want to do. But trust me, I do have a big plan. I have a lot of stuff mapped out. I have stuff written down. I don't know if I really want to start another channel if I was to continue doing more things. I think end of the day, I'm just gonna perhaps change the name of this channel to Nash Tater something, right? And just add more things to it. I don't think it's gonna dilute the channel, because I'm still gonna provide the exact same things I'm doing for this game in other games. Of course, they're gonna be under different categories. So when people come to my channel, there's different things they can look at, because end of the day, all this stuff ties in together because it's about me, right? It's about me and my lifestyle and whatnot. So I think the future is bright. This channel is growing at a really fast pace. You know, I'm not like a huge boomer in terms of in 1 week, 2 weeks, in a month, I'm hitting 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. But I feel like, you know, given time, I'll get there. You know, I think everyone starts out small, and as they say, right, big things have small beginnings. And I'm just really happy you guys are all on board with me. So thank you. We'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna put out more videos later today, I think. And thank you for the support. Take care of yourselves and take care of all your loved ones. Please take care of yourselves and stay safe. God bless you all. Nash Taters out.